Hi, everybody. Lisa Kessler from Kessler Insurance, and I'm here today on behalf of Cheers for Charity New Hampshire, and I am here with the fabulous Joanne Burchuck. Hey, Joe.
Well, hi, Lisa. Thank you. Joanne Burchuck. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy and excited for another great episode of our Cheers for Charity. And today I would like to welcome Ginna, and she is with the Rye Historical Society. So welcome, welcome. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what the society does.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Mhm.
Um, so we were started back in the celebrations of 1976. The society was born, and then in 2002 we got ourselves a museum. So we have a museum that's tucked in right next to the Rye Library, and we have hours from May to October on Saturday mornings. We also serve up some programs. We have trolley tours, we have boat tours out to the Isles of Shoals. We're a small board right now. We're trying to grow that, but we have a lot of fun. We just came off of the Rye 400, which, I appreciate that Portsmouth did all that celebrating for us. When their 400th comes up for real, we'll do this. Sorry. But we had a lot of fun. We reached out into the community and just really got everybody involved, and that heightened the awareness of us here. And people have said that they really liked doing some of the things that we offered that were different. We had century walks, kind of highlighting the different parts of Rye that were impacted over each century, from the fishing to the farming to the hotels and resorts. But we're a membership-based organization, so our members pay dues each year, and that helps us have our programs and our events. Let's see. But basically, yeah, we're about we are beyond like the whole mission statement and all that. Our main thing is we want people in town here to find some connection to the community through
Mhm.
history.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. So it's nice that you have a little museum there too now. So it's open once a week. And what would people experience when they come to the museum?
So when they come into the museum, we have two sides to the building. So there's a section where we kind of highlight the 400 years. We start with the indigenous people. We really are try to be aware, as so many groups are now, of you know the land we're sitting on. And so you can follow around from the indigenous to the first settlers, to the people, the founding families who then came in, and right up through today. And then on the other side of the museum, we highlight um, the what we like to I always liked to call it that effing exhibit, because it was fishing, farming, and fun. And I'm a 12-year-old boy in my head sometimes, so it just became that effing exhibit. But I mean, Rye in its heyday was really something, with the grand resorts that were all over the place. Of course, they burned down constantly and had to be rebuilt. Um, but it was really quite a place to be until people became mobile with their own cars. But when the trains were bringing people up from the cities, um, there was a lot of partying going on here.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then upstairs we have a library, and there's a lot of books about Rye, about the seacoast, and people. In addition, because we are open a very limited time, but one of the things we do like to say is we are also open by appointment for whenever it suits people. So they can go onto our website and just click make an appointment, and one of our board members or our town historian will meet the people over there and show them around.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have quite a few options just there at your facilities. Is it run, I'm assuming, mostly by volunteer?
We are an all volunteer board. We contract out some archivist work. to really keep our collections organized. That's something that we just started doing the last few years. We're kind of in an interesting growth stage for a nonprofit where we're coming out of our childhood years and growing into a more sophisticated model, which of course requires more fundraising, more outreach, more marketing. But we've tried really hard with our governance committee to find people who have the skills that we need to do the work that we're doing.
Yeah. What do you see going forward when you say you're moving into the next stage? What could people expect?
I think just more things. One thing we added just 2 years ago was an Isles of Shoals trip, and it was just going out to Star Island because that is the one of the big islands that's part of New Hampshire, or actually is part of Rye. In the 400th, we wanted to really highlight Celia Thaxter and what's going on at Appledore because UNH has such a great program working with the sea creatures. And so we put together a tour that really is unique because if you want to go out to Appledore these days, you have to go through UNH. And we are now working with UNH to have that as part of our tour. So we can do Appledore and Star Island and really make it something that you're not going to get anywhere else. And yeah, just doing more things. We are trying to be very involved in Rye Day, growing the town celebrations. The town of Rye has come together and pretty much said that they want more opportunities to gather with their neighbors in the downtown area. And we have a beautiful green in front of us. So we're trying to do as much as we can to invite the community in. We're really proud of everything that the people before us have done and that we have done. And we're just looking to do more of that, have more tours. Rye has such a rich history as the oldest established community in New Hampshire, and we want to highlight that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love community pride and any opportunities for the community to interact, get together, and celebrate the history and how you all got to be where you're at today, which is great. I seem to remember when you first started the conversation, you talked about the Isle of Shoals tour, but was there some other things that you were doing ongoing as well?
We have a trolley tour also, and
Okay.
our trolley tour grew also to accommodate Rye 400, and I think that's another accommodation that will stay. We used to just pretty much do the Rye Beach area, which is where all the resort type things were, and there's still a double-decker outhouse that's down there that we always like to stop and highlight. And to imagine what it's like to be on the first floor when someone's using the second floor.
Yeah.
But we expanded it to go all the way up north and to go to Pulpit Rock Tower and, to stop. And the northern end of Rye is really where there was a lot of activity in World War II. And so now we can incorporate that into our tour. Let's see what else. We added a scavenger hunt. I created a scavenger hunt and led that, and that was fun. We got Dan Brown. Dan Brown did a program for us last year, and he had said as he was up there, he said, it'd be really nice if somebody did a scavenger hunt for Rye. He's like, if I had more time and stuff, I would do one. And I stood up, I'm like, actually, I've got one. And he was very gracious. I said, it would be wonderful if we could have a Dan Brown clue. And so he created a superb clue for our scavenger hunt. I was so proud. And then we also have, when the COVID hit, we had to switch everything to online. Like, what can we provide from the safety of our own homes? And we did two things. And if anybody's looking for some good reading for, say, some to fall asleep to, we had, like you have Cheers for Charity, we did History Happy Hour. And every Sunday, we started out with the L.B. Parsons History of Rye, very dry reading, very, very dry. And we would read a chapter. We would have our glass of wine, we would read a chapter and do it on YouTube Live. And then we now have a playlist on YouTube of all of our readings for happy hour. So if anybody, doesn't want to buy the $45 book, they can listen to us read it.
That is funny.
And then we also had, COVID had its little blessings. When we were having our membership holiday party, of course, we couldn't have that in person in 2020. So we decided to do a Zoom one. And so all of a sudden we're getting people from all over the country who have ties to Rye, who are intrigued that, oh, I can attend this. And from that, somebody had said it would be really cool to have a genealogy group that just looked at all the ties to Rye. So we started a genealogy group, and that still continues. It's monthly, the third Tuesday of every month. And this year, I used to take part in it, but I can't anymore. But the people who do take part said, it's not even really all genealogy now. People call up and they're talking about their old houses or just other families. And so we now have retitled it Rye Roots. And it's good for anybody to just stop in. It's 7:30 on the third Tuesday, and our links on our website. So people can just drop in, see what it's about. And even if they have general genealogy questions, the Locke family genealogist is part of this group, and these people could not be nicer. They just want to help people find all their connections. So that's a lot of. So those were our little COVID blessings, I will say. As we try to reach more people.
This is so cool. I love hearing about celebrating the history. There's so much history in New England. So question, what are the best ways for people to sort of find out about the historical site? You mentioned that you have a website. Do you do any social media, or do you really target everything to the website? What's the ways that people sort of get their inside scoop?
I would say between social media and our website for sure. We try to make sure that that's all up to date, current with information. There are a lot of resources on there. One of the things we did in the past few years is we updated our Past Perfect museum software from being on a standalone computer to being web-based, which means that opens up our archives for searching for anybody in real time. Once our archivist has gone in and entered the information, people can look through it. We have a lot of things there, a lot of resources. We have some of our programs that we've already had with the links to the videos. So much. we have so much. It needs poking around. And actually one of the things we need to do is tighten it up a little bit. So, one of the things that we're always looking for is board members with a little technological savvy, because historical societies historically attract an older crowd, I think, and who are really appreciating history and don't necessarily have all the social media skills or website skills. But we're on Instagram and Facebook, and we try to keep those churning. I recently have committed to putting up a photo each week we have a PowerPoint that's all photos from 1911. So for people to see like their street, this is in 1911, just a nice little historical photo.
So cool. Oh, I love that. I love it. So if people want to donate, if people want to volunteer, if people want to come, obviously the best thing to do, go to the website, get all the resources, and that could sort of start from there, right?
Absolutely. Yep. We have, oh, on our board page, you can see a little bit about what we're looking for in board members and also send us a little message with interest. Members, we're always looking for more members. And we like to throw a good membership party. You know, one of the things I've found too is being downtown, we're the only organization that can serve alcohol down in that area of Rye. So I'm like, hey, come on in. You can have a glass of wine here.
That's
um,
funny.
yeah.
That's so great. I loved hearing about the history. I think the older you get, the more you appreciate, right, the history of your community and your backyard, and the fact that you are celebrating and honoring and saving that is invaluable. I think it's so important what you're all doing.
It is, because without it, we forget. We forget that, oh, no, we're preserving this because, it's, well, and there's just so many beautiful old houses. I don't know if you've seen, maybe your audience hasn't seen this, but there's a historical house in Rye that they're trying to give away because somebody bought the property and they're building a house and they don't want to tear down this old beautiful house. So they're like, if somebody can just take it away, it's free.
Wow.
Yeah, they can look on Seacoast Online or in any of our old newsletters, which are all on our website also.
Awesome. Oh my God, there's so much information. It sounds like it would be a great thing to do if you had some downtime, just to even just sit back and relax with a glass of wine and go through all your information. It'd be great. So thank you so much for spending time to talk to us today. We really appreciate it. This has been a blast to learn so much about you and your organization.
Well, thank you very much. It's really been nice to be on.